Thanks for tuning in to Unbreakable with Chris Chamasiros. So before I start today, before I talk about anything, politics, news, anything, just remember one thing, that Jeffrey Epstein worked for the Israeli government. And all the distractions that you are seeing, all the stupid narratives, all the talking points that you are seeing in the news and on social media everywhere is done to distract you from the main topic. And the main topic is this. The main objective is this that you need to remember. Jeffrey Epstein worked for the Israeli government. He ran the biggest blackmail operation in the history of the United States of America, in the world. And he trafficked underage children, sex trafficked them, human, whatever, mutilated them. There was tunnels underneath Jeffrey Epstein's house that led to the ocean. What do you think he was doing in those tunnels? After they plied these children with drugs and did whatever they did to them, where do you think those children went? You think those children were just released back into society? That's not what happened here at all. And the files keep getting released and everybody just keeps changing the subject. You know, Alex Jones and I forgot the other guy's name today. They're, oh, Jeffrey Epstein's alive. He's in Tel Aviv. Who gives a shit? It doesn't change the fact that he worked for the Israeli government. And all the Patrick Bet-Davids of the world and the Adam Sosnicks of the world and the Alan Dershowitz of the world and President Trump, all Dan Bongino, all of you are lying through your teeth, making it sound like Israel had nothing to do with this. Meanwhile, he worked for the Israeli government. And that's the main thing that you all need to remember. It's the number one thing you need to remember. And I love how everybody's trying to, it's just like, you hear these people talk and they're like, nobody knows how Jeffrey Epstein got all of his billions of dollars. Oh, you don't know? You don't know how Jeffrey Epstein got his billions of dollars? Well, gee, if I had to trace the money back, I would bet somewhere along the line, it went back to the Israeli government and came from Benjamin Netanyahu. If I had to bet, if I was a betting man, that's what I would have bet. You hear these conversations with these people and it's like, this man had no talent at all, just like Mark Levin, just like Ben Shapiro, just like a ton of them. No talent at all, was dumber than a rock. And he just happened to have like $650 million in his bank account and owned the biggest penthouse in Manhattan. But he was like a college professor or something. It doesn't matter how the money got in his account, whether the money was given to him by Zionist businessmen in America. However it travels back, the money was given to him by the Israeli government to put politicians and superstars in compromising positions to blackmail them. And that's all you're going to hear. You're going to hear all this garbage trying to distract you from this fact. Now, today, President Trump, he plays a stupid video on Truth Social or whatever. And it's just totally uncalled for with the Obamas. Now, I believe this was done just to distract you. That's all it is a distraction. And regardless of why it was done, regardless of why regardless of why he did this, it has no class. It's like, Trump, do you want to win the midterms? Do you want to win the midterms? Because obviously not. Obviously, Trump doesn't give a shit about the midterms. He really doesn't. Why would you put something up like this? We all know how Democrats are. They have nothing to run on. They have no policy to run on. They have nothing to stand on. They can't. They have no answers for anything going on in America. Nothing, zero. And Trump, all the time, he'll just throw him up a softball. He'll do something like this that everybody knows will be deemed racist. And then all the liberal minions will come out and be like, see, we told you not to support Trump. He hates black people. He's a racist. And Trump deserves the criticism that he gets for this stupid video. It's an idiotic thing to... Do you want to win? Do you want to win? See, I don't think that Trump cares anymore about winning. He's already won. F MAGA. F my supporters. I'm bought and paid for by Israel. Miriam Adelson gave me $250 million. So now I'm going to go to war with the entire Middle East. So who's he doing it for? Who is Trump working for right now? He's not working for me or you or the American people. He's working for Israel. He's bought and paid for by Israel. It's undeniable. So what does Trump do? What does he do? He puts a stupid video up like this on Truth Social. Let's watch the video real quick. He's just an idiot. You know what? This is not, when you're a politician and you're a Republican, conservative, whatever you want to, Trump is done. Him and J.D. Vance, it's over. It's finished. Bongino, you're all done. It's over. The media that was sticking up, it's done. It's over. It's really over. And Trump, he almost lost his life 2 or 3 times from an assassin. And he throws his whole presidency away for a bunch of degenerates that were trafficking kids, sexually abusing children, killing them, mutilating them, putting them in the whatever they were doing. And now he's being pimped out. Let's see, at this point, Trump is a hoe and Israel is his pimp. And now he's getting pimped out all over the world. And he's going to go, he's going to go to war with this one. He's going to go to war with that one. And he's not doing it for America or the people that voted for him. We didn't vote for this. Did we vote for more wars? Trump promised no more wars. Let's make America great again. Let's do everything that's great for America. Is this great for America? We've been hearing since 1981 that Iran has nuclear weapons. Benjamin Netanyahu, tomorrow Iran will have nuclear weapon. Tomorrow, they're one step away from blowing America off the map. This is what Benjamin Netanyahu says every day for the last 35 years. Now, this is what Trump's donors want. This is what President Trump's donors want him to do. And that's what he's doing. He doesn't work for the American people anymore. He's weak. He's old. He's corrupt. He's dumb on top of it, because now look what he's doing. And people making excuses for this is like, when you're a Republican, you know what Democrats, they have nothing to stand on. They have nothing to run on. So you don't give them ammunition like this. You don't deal with them like this. I don't like Barack Obama at all. I don't like you could have called him a communist. You could have called him ungrateful. You could have called him anti-American. You could have called his wife the same exact thing. But then you got to do stupid shit like this. And this is exactly what this is. It just gives the other side ammunition. That's all it does. See, I'm always concerned about the swing voters, about the middle voters, about the women who are like, oh, I'm not sure if I should vote Democrat or Republican. I'm always concerned about the people in the middle on the cliff. And when you do stupid things like this, that pushes those voters away. So there's a certain way that you have to handle yourself. There's a certain way you got to go about things. Now, I'm not saying you have to be nice to all your enemies. I'm not saying you have to be nice to the people that try to take your life. Of course, that's not what I'm saying. But when you act like a 8-year-old in the schoolyard that's calling people all types of names that they shouldn't be, even though you didn't do that, but this is what that video sums it up to be. It's like the same thing. Now, you look like the moron. You look like the idiot. And the problem is you understand the stage. You're not going to make me believe that you don't see the entire chessboard here. There was no reason to do this at all. There was absolutely no reason to do this. So you know what I think? You know what I really believe? I think it's a distraction. I think Trump did this to distract you from the Epstein files. Trump comes out today and he's defending Bill Clinton of all people. I like Bill. Bill's a good guy? Really, Trump? He's been to Epstein Island 30 times. What do you think he was doing over there? Oh, yeah, he just went over there for a margarita and for a barbecue, right? Slick Willie? Hey, Trump, I got another question for you. You know how many people ended up dead around the Clintons? Like 100 people ended up dead around the Clintons. Are they Clintons? The Clintons have committed more murder than like serial killers. But hey, Bill's a good person. You ever talk about, hey, Bill, why are you over there? And you've been on the flight logs to Epstein Island like 50 times. What are you doing over there? It's like, I don't think Trump was on Epstein Island. Not to my knowledge. To be fair, I don't think he was there. And before Trump even ran for president, he was saying what a cesspool Epstein Island was. He's on the record saying it. But here's the problem that I have with Trump. He's covering the whole thing up. They're all covering it up. Bongino, him, even like Alex Jones. Focus. Who gives a shit if Jeffrey Epstein's alive in Tel Aviv? Who cares? The main thing that everybody has to remember is Jeffrey Epstein worked for the Israeli government. That's it. That's the most important thing. You know, America's greatest ally. Then you have Ben Shapiro come out and he says, Mossad hasn't operated on American soil since 1980. Okay, right. I know. Mossad was involved with dancing Israelis on 9/11. Mossad is operating on American soil all the time. Matter of fact, Ben Shapiro, you work for Mossad. So does Mark Levin. So do all the other Zionist podcasters and YouTubers. But according to you, Mossad doesn't operate on American soil. Matter of fact, Mossad just got in trouble a few weeks ago for spying on the American military. The American military general or somebody had to come out and be like, hey, cut the shit already. But hey, you know, America's greatest ally. And then in these Epstein files, you heard Jeffrey Epstein talking to all the Zionists, how he feels about Caucasian men, how they're all dumb animals and they're the goyim and they're trash and we own them and they work for us. That's how they feel about you. That's how they feel about you. So if you're a white male that joins the military, you're a fool. You're getting conned. You know when you should join the military? You know when any race should join the military? When the military is actually working for the American government. When the military is actually putting America's interests first. That's when you should join the military. Not when America is fighting Israel's wars. That's all you do. You join the military to go fight in the middle for Israel, for the Middle East, to secure their border, to give them power in the Middle East. Meanwhile, you come back to your country and it's an open border with 55 million illegal people in the country while you get pimped out. Do not join the military. Don't. Do not join the military till you have a leader that is not corrupted by Israel. And President Trump is bought and paid for by Israel at this point, and we all know it. So until AIPAC is out of American politics, until you get a candidate that is not Israel first, then don't join the military. You know, Trump is not even a year into his presidency, and they're putting J.D. Vance all over the TV. And they're like, you think we're going to vote for J.D. Vance, J.D. Plant, so we can get more of the same when Trump leaves? You don't think that J.D. Vance's wife has something to do with President Trump wanting to bring in like 300,000 to 500,000 HB1 visas from people from India to take American jobs? You don't think that J.D. Vance's wife has something to do with that? Yeah, okay. I'm not voting for J.D. Vance at all. You know, in one of the Epstein files, they won't show who sent the email, but it was like sent to Jeffrey Epstein, 9-year-old Brazilian girl brought to the island. This is what these sick degenerates are into, 9-year-old girls. Do you think that when they were done with her, they just brought her back to Brazil? Is that what you think? No, they probably put her in a crab trap and dropped her off in the ocean somewhere. This is what President Trump is covering up. This is who President Trump works for at this point. He almost gets his life taken twice. And this is what he pisses away his presidency for. Really? See, if President Trump was actually doing what he promised his voters, he wouldn't have to do dumb shit like this with the Obama video. This video really pissed me off today. It's totally uncalled for. I want to win. Do you understand? I want to win. I want candidates in there that represent my values. I'm super conservative in a lot of ways. And if you don't represent that, if you don't put America, first of all, you got to be America first. If you're not America first, if you're any other country but America first, I'm not voting for you. J.D. Vance, J.D. Plants, Donald Trump. I'm not voting for you unless you're America first. And matter of fact, if I was president, you know what the first thing I would do? My first order of business would be the minute I became president, before I did anything, before I took a drink of water, you know what the first thing I would do as president of the United States? I would end dual citizenship immediately. Stroke of a pen. And then I would get it passed as a bill. So if you're going to give me a hard time about it, I'll just do an executive order. I'm ending dual citizenship immediately. You're either going to be for America or you're going to be the country that you love so much, but you're not going to have it both ways. You're either with us or you're with the country you love so much. And if you want to leave, don't let the door hit you on the ass. Don't care. That would be the first thing I did as president of the United States. All this dual citizenship, it needs to come to an end. President Trump, you seem to be spending a lot of time over there in Gaza about hotels and you're going to build this. I haven't heard you talk lately about the infrastructure in America, the bridges, the roads, the tunnels. You know, you send $45 million a day to Israel. Every day you send $45 million. Can you imagine if every state got that kind of money in America? We could redo every single road in every town in America. We could redo every single bridge. We could put people to work. We can get rid of the trash, get rid of the graffiti, get rid of the potholes, take care of our infrastructure. But President Trump, he has better plans. He has other things to worry about. He has to conquer the Middle East for a country that owns him. Right, Trump? Let's jump into this video. Idiotic video by Trump. Idiot. Let's play, you know what?
This is what Donald Trump posted on Truth Social last night. And I think this is a good representation of what he and this administration represents. This is what Donald Trump...
All right, I'm trying to play the video. Let me find it.
The disrespect.
All right, I can't with just the disrespect. Anyway, I mean, you have a point, so I'm not going to say you don't have a point.
Claims are being made once again that President Donald Trump is a racist, but here's the truth about the video that Trump shared on Truth Social, wherein there was a portion of it that showed former President Barack Obama and Michelle Obama superimposed over a couple of apes. Here's the truth. First off, let me show you the actual video, not the selective edited portion that you've probably been seeing online put up.
Listen, you could try to spin this however you want, right? You could try to spin this, oh, it was edited, blah, blah, blah. The bottom line is he put them in a certain animal suit and he did it to create chaos, to be an idiot. And you could try to spin this however you want. It's not a good look. It's low class, it's stupid, it's ignorant, it's dumb. It's at the wrong possible time. Do you want to win? Do you want Alexandria Cortez to be the next president of the United effing States, you moron? You do stupid shit like this? How about you, Trump, I got a question for you. If you were going to sit down and do a business deal and you really couldn't stand the person, would you do something stupid like this during your business deal? Would you act like this? Of course you wouldn't. Of course you wouldn't. Well, you're only running the biggest business in the world called the United States of America, so you do dumb, idiotic stuff like this. People will say, oh, you're overreacting. No, I'm not overreacting. All this does is give the other side ammunition to take the focus away from the policy that Democrats don't have. Democrats have nothing to offer. So, leave it to Trump to throw up a softball to Democrats to give them ammunition.
By the radical left. So here's the video in question. Now, as you can see, it's about a minute long. We're about 53 seconds in. This entire video up until this point had basically been reporting on how 2020 might have been a stolen election. You get to about the 56-second mark in the video, and this happens. Watch.
Spike occurred that favored Joe Biden.
So first off,
all right, whatever, man. Okay, however the video looks, do you think that was a smart thing to do? It's stupid. That's what it is. And you know what? I really believe that it's fine. It's done to distract, but at the same time, what's it do? It gives Democrats and liberals ammunition. Just a total idiotic move by Trump. But hey, Trump doesn't really care at this point. I mean, he just shit on 89, 90 million people. Excuse me. Yeah. How many people voted for Trump in the last election? 100 million, 120 million people, something like that. So, you know, just keep up the stupid, ignorant. It's just dumb. That's all it is. It's not a good look. It's not a way to attract voters to your party either. I want black people. I want black Americans to vote Republican. I want minorities to vote Republican. Great way to invite them to the party, Trump. Great way. Really intelligent. Good job. Idiot. Idiot. That's what you are. I don't care what you were trying to say. You're just an idiot. Talk about Dan Bongino next. Dan Bongino goes on his show and he's like, I'm trying to bring up the video. He's saying like, oh, I got in the arena and boxed it out and you didn't do anything. You know, you're criticizing the way that I was doing things. You didn't do anything, Dan. You're a blowhard. Dan Blowhard Bongino. That's what you are. Before you went to the FBI, you had your show. You're going to do this and you're going to do that. And Jeffrey Epstein's a child trafficker. These pedos got to go down. And then you get the job. And what'd you do? Oh, my main job is to keep Israel safe. I felt so good about keeping Israel safe. Jeffrey Epstein killed himself. Nothing to see. There's no, you and Ben Shapiro. Oh, there is no Jeffrey Epstein files. That doesn't exist. It's make believe. Right, Bongino. Right, Blowhard Bongino. And then you're blaming all the people. Like you're like, oh, what did you do? We weren't the ones that got the job, Dan. Did you go through 9 million files to find anything? Did you volunteer? I didn't know I had to, Dan. I thought that's why you took the job, Dan. Isn't that why you took the job? It's just like, Bongino, you're just unbearable. Bongino is one of the biggest blowhards in all of media. Before he even went down that route, I always thought he was a blowhard anyway. Let's pull up one of it. Let me try to pull up his video so you can see it yourself. He's like calling people that criticize him basement dwellers and losers and black pillars. Dan, you're the one that lost. You lost clearly. You lost your reputation. You lost your credibility. You didn't do your job like you were elected to do. I miss my wife. I'm quitting after 9 months. I can't do this. I get to the office at 6 a.m. and I leave at 6 p.m. Oh, poor you, Dan. The big tough guy, Bongino, lasted 9 months. Hey, at least Trump did one tour as president already. And then he blamed it all on us for criticizing him. Right, Dan. It's our fault, Dan. We elected you to handle it, but hey. I'm having some problems bringing this up. Let me go to YouTube. Maybe I can bring it up there. Oh, here, I'm going to play it through the Jim Dory show. Just give it a second. It'll come on.
You paid me to do the right thing. And the right thing involves keeping custody over information. So you're going to
said this. He was always like, you got,
oh, I love
don't
when
ever
this
let
happens.
this
Just give me a
Epstein
second.
story go. We're going to stay on this. Don't ever stop. And then he said this.
He killed himself. Again, you want me to get, I've seen the whole file.
6 million files?
Wow. I believe him because he speaks with the conviction of a man who was there when it happened.
Let me rewind this.
Don't ever stop. And then he Did you hear how he said that, Kurt? He said, you paid me to keep custody.
You paid me to do the right thing. And the right thing involves keeping custody over information. So you're going to be misunderstood about it.
Bongino wants to keep custody over information. Sounds like a real communist to me. That wording.
Did you hear how he said that, Kurt? He said, you paid me to keep custody over information. And you know who talks like that? Guys who are in the deep state. That's what that talks. That's
pretty
Or
much.
Dilbert, God rest his soul.
Or Dilbert. That's exactly right. I trust Trump to lie to me. Dan Bongino is back. Now let's remember.
You got the jokes?
Yeah, let's remember. Dan Bongino famously said this. He was always like, don't ever let this Epstein story go. We're gonna stay on this. Don't ever stop. And then
exactly. Dan's like, don't ever let the Epstein story, don't turn the page. And now that's what Trump wants. That's what the administration wants. That's why they're doing everything to distract you from the Epstein story. And now that nobody's dropping it, now that everybody's still talking about it for months, days, years, they'll be talking about it 50 years from now. Now you're a loser that lives in your mom's basement and you're negative and a black pillar and you got no balls and you didn't jump into the arena like Bongino.
He said this.
He killed himself. You want me to get, I've seen the whole file. He killed himself.
Right, Bongino. Kind of like your hairline, but anyway.
Wow.
6 million files?
Wow. I believe him because he speaks with the conviction of a man who was there when it happened. So, Dave Smith said, hey, Bongino, now that the files are out, can you share with us the part that proved Epstein killed himself? You said you saw the files and knew for a fact he killed himself. Surely you weren't lying through your effing teeth.
Oh, the supposed Jew, Dave Smith.
My God. Bongino under attack from the Jew, Dave Smith. So, here he goes. So he goes on. Dan Bongino gets emotional and lashes.
Look at Bongino's eyes. He's definitely seen things that he doesn't want to talk about. I mean, his eyes haven't been the same.
Out at those critiquing his cover-up of the Epstein PDF files. Let's watch.
Third group of people I want to address are the grifters out there who mistakenly thought I wasn't coming back. Now,
oh, yeah, we're all scared, Dan. The grifters are scared. We didn't think you were coming back, Dan. We should all hide in our mom's basement.
Grifters are anybody who disagrees with him.
Exactly.
Just so you know. So this term has been so polluted and so overused, it means absolutely nothing anymore. Because if there's anyone who isn't he's talking directly to Dave Smith, and he's not a grifter. He's just a guy who has a different opinion. And
Dave's saying what he thinks. I could verify for you, Davis. Say, I used to argue with him all the time because he still is a dedicated libertarian on certain things. But Dave's a good guy who, if he thinks something true, he has to say it. He can't lie like a hero like Don Bongino.
Okay, let's keep going.
I am back. The Podfather is back.
The Podfather's
back.
back.
To take back this movement. This movement's been hijacked by a.
Dan, you're not taking back the movement. It's over. It's finished. You, Megyn Kelly, Sean Hannity, you had your chance to do it right. You chose not to, and now we're all turning the page. It's over for you, Dan.
Whole group of dipshits and bums and losers.
And I'm back into my podcast studio to take back the movement. And I'm back doing my pod. That's how I take over. That seems kind of silly.
The Podfather's back in town, and all three of those categories, which are all Dave Smith, by the way.
Who are nothing but doomers under the frame of accountability. I'm all about accountability. I just showed you what we did or what we didn't.
Look at that face. Look at those eyes. Bongino's all about accountability. Really? The same guy that said that Epstein killed himself? You're right. I know, Dan. You're all about accountability.
Did I not? I'm not sitting here going, hey, trust me, bro. I showed you. If you like it, great. If you don't, that is absolutely your constitutional right.
I just saw what you did. You lied to us about Epstein killing himself in jail. So that's what everybody's talking about. I don't know what he showed before, but this is what we're all talking about because that's what you were talking about before you came the deputy director. And then you got in there and you did nothing.
You said, trust me, bro. Both of you, Harold and Kumar, both of you said, trust me, bro.
Yeah.
And he just said it now. I didn't say, trust me, bro. And then right after that, he says, trust me, bro.
Yeah.
If you believe it, do. If you don't, that's fine.
You paid for it to go out and go, that sucked. I would have done something different. Okay, but you didn't. You didn't do anything different. I'm not sure if you volunteered to serve or not, but you didn't. You sat in the front row with your popcorn, ankle biting, throwing this popcorn at the ring at two guys in there sparring away, fighting for this country while you did shit. You just talked about it.
Yeah, because we weren't offered the deputy director job
exactly,
at
Dan.
the FBI when we didn't have even.
Yeah, that was your job, Dan. But hey, you know, Epstein killed himself.
So we don't have any qualifications either. Just like you were a Secret Service guy. I don't know if that qualifies you to be deputy director of the FBI. But I didn't. You know, I worked security at a concert once. Maybe I could have been deputy director. I don't know.
Do his job too for him. What is he talking?
So
you didn't do my job for me. What are you saying anything for?
Why didn't you guys do the job I was supposed to do while I wasn't doing it when I was the what? So again, he's just...
You tell your closet Indian boss that you feel uncomfortable and pretending that his beard is...
Okay, here we go.
You didn't do anything. Now, I'm back on the air. I'm not going to take on every single thing in one day in one show. But I'm telling you right now, your bullshit, I'm done with it. The grifter bums, all you guys are a class of doomers. Everything sucks all the time. You would have done it different. You didn't.
Really, Dan, did you get to the bottom of who was on Epstein Island sexually assaulting children and murdering them, eating their intestines, putting them in the ocean when they were finished with them? Did you do it? Did you even investigate that, Dan? Never mind catch somebody. Never mind prosecute somebody. Did you even investigate it, Dan? Oh, that's right. You can. Because Benjamin Netanyahu is Donald Trump's daddy at this point. You're not allowed to, Dan. So don't do the tough guy stick, Dan. You're going to go to the FBI and shake things up. I'm coming for you.
Do shit. You did nothing.
And now you're back to your... Also, you did nothing. And now you're back to your podcast where you're going to continue to do more nothing.
I don't mean to be a doomer, Jimmy, but I feel like rampant institutional child sexual abuse is a real bummer.
Yes.
I feel like it sucks every time, and there's no good reason to allow child trafficking. As a doomer that I am.
You're such a doomer. Everything sucks with you,
Try to blackbill you, but child trafficking.
Yeah, let's ask some of those kids that Jay-Z and Beyonce took from Africa or Nigeria and brought them over on Epstein's private plane to be sex trafficked, eaten, and all other types of rituals done to them. Yeah, Dan, ask them how they feel since everything's perfect and we're all just doomers.
Isn't good, Jimmy.
You didn't volunteer. You didn't ask. You didn't give up your show to do. You did nothing.
I have to volunteer. I mean, if you paid me, I might do the job, but I'm not going to volunteer, Dan.
You didn't volunteer to come look through the 3 million Epstein files that we were going through. Why didn't you volunteer to do that? What is he talking about? What's that, Kurt?
I actively asked for his job, and they didn't give it to me.
I asked. Kurt was asking. Kurt asked for that job.
Please make me deputy director.
We all volunteered. We all volunteered. I volunteered. We all volunteered to look through the Epstein files. Kurt volunteered to be deputy director. I volunteered to be director.
You tell me name a time and place.
All right, you get the point. I'm going to move on from this. It's all a distraction. That's all it is. It's like now all of a sudden, too, like they have Andrew Tate doing an apology tour for the record that was played in the club with Nick Fuentes. I believe that was done on purpose also. I believe that was all a setup to try to get them like they think the Tates have any type Trump and this administration, they think the Tates are on the same wave, like they have the same pull anymore. The cat is out of the bag with them too. Everybody knows exactly what they are, scammers and scumbags. And now you see Tate on this apology tour on social media, on the national news media. And what Trump and all these idiots think is like, oh, we're all going to stop paying attention to the Epstein files because the human trafficker, pimp, pedo, crypto scammer, and all the other things that Tate's into, we're all going to focus on this idiot claiming that he's innocent. Well, I guess, you know what's funny, Andrew? I have a tape of you. I have the video of you explaining how to human traffic women, how to take advantage of them, tell them that, hey, oh, you got to pay taxes. Take the paper up, crumble it, throw it in the garbage, keep the money from the taxes. I got the whole video on you teaching the course how to human traffic people. Did you forget? I did a reaction video to your video. But let me guess, that wasn't you. That was taken out of context, right, Andrew? They're doing everything. The elites right now, President Trump, all these social media people, they're all doing their best to distract you from one thing. that Epstein worked for the Israeli government. It's the biggest blackmail, sextortion, child trafficking case in the history of the United States of America. And it was done to blackmail American politicians and politicians around the world. The powers that be didn't care that underage children were getting sexually abused. And they let it happen, and they knew it was happening, and they didn't care because they want power. See, a real man does this. A real man doesn't sacrifice children for power. If you're the president of the United States, you're the most powerful man in the world. I don't have to sacrifice children to get what I want or gain power from other countries. I call you on the phone. I say, we need to have a talk. We need to have a sit down face to face. And I'm going to tell you how it's going to be, or I'm going to unleash the most sophisticated, ferocious fighting military on the entire planet called the United States military on you. So here's the deal. Here are your options. It's my way or the highway. But what do lowlifes like this do? What do they do like this? They sacrifice children. They use children to get leverage. If I'm the president of the United States, I have enough leverage. It's called the United States military, the most lethal fighting force on the entire planet. And sometimes Trump just needs to be honest with people. He needs to come out and tell the American public, look, we need to take over this country for this is the reason why. I'm not doing it for any other reasons other than this. This is the way it's got to be. And that's it. But now everything that Trump said, there's a black cloud over it because we know that he's being controlled by Miriam Adelson, Benjamin Netanyahu, and Israel. So every time he talks, it's like, what are his real intentions? Is he even telling the truth? So Trump has no one to blame but himself for that. And then he does more stupid shit with the Obama video today. Complete moronic move, if you ask me. Total stupid move. But hey, no big deal, right, Trump? Keep up the great work. Keep up the great work. Let me try to bring up these tunnels real quick from Epstein's house. Let's check this out. You're going to love this.
Talking about this picture that why aren't more people talking about
So this is trapdoor leading directly into ocean on Epstein Island. So there was a trapdoor. What do you think was going in there? Oh yeah, right. When they trafficked all the goyim children, because Jeffrey Epstein was only interested in Caucasian females. You saw the racist letter that he wrote. So the goyim, the good little goyim, the scummy goyim, the American Caucasianoid women that were being sex trafficked, you think he just released them back into society when he was done with them? No, they probably went in this trapdoor as shark bait.
People talking about this picture that was found in the Epstein files that shows a trapdoor leading into the open sea. By the way, these are real documented photos. They can be found on the DOJ website if you want to search for them yourself. So we know that the island had multiple underground and restricted access areas. So some are saying that this could have been used for maintenance, boat access, or possibly an emergency exit, as wealthy coastal properties sometimes had direct sea access. But why place it indoors? Why conceal it? And why does it align with survivor accounts describing hidden movement and secrecy? There are many speculations, like if it was used to transport children using a submarine, if it was used as a scare tactic for victims, if it was used to dispose of bodies, or some say maybe it was connected to a submerged space, not necessarily tunnels, but maybe a submerged chamber or crawl space that doesn't appear on publicly released maps or plans. There might be a simple explanation to all of this, or there might be one that we were never meant to hear. If you want a part 2 that shows other unexplained
All right. You really think Jeffrey Epstein was up to something good here? You really think this piece of garbage has a decent bone in his body? America's greatest ally, right? I know definitely one other type of woman that would never be trafficked to that island. We all know what religion she would be. Just a total piece of garbage, huh? Let's talk about what's the Epstein files, how they feel about the goyim. Let me try to pull this up. All right, forget this for now. You know, it's taking me, I don't think I'll be able to pull this up, but they released in the files that Epstein was talking about Caucasian men, and he was saying how they own the goyim and that they're all animals and filthy and stupid, and how you should only hire Jewish men because Caucasians are all, you know, he's calling them all types of names. And the funny thing about that is, yeah, you call them all these things until you need somebody to fight your wars, right? Because you're not man enough to do it yourself. And we'll never see any IDF soldiers. Anytime you go on the battlefield in the Middle East, there's no IDF soldiers. There's only American soldiers. And that's why I keep saying, if you do not join the military, do not join the military until you know you have a president that is putting America first. And obviously, President Trump is not doing that. I'm going to end it with that for today. Thanks for tuning in.